Pro-Am Tour. This is our first stop. We are here in Foley, Alabama for the Hoyt Easton Pro-Am. We're at the Foley Sports Complex indoors here. Welcome everybody to the Competition Archery Media Broadcast booth. I am PJ Riley sitting alongside Darren Christianberry. And Darren Christianberry, before we talk about the weekend, we got two great new classes we've never seen in the pro division before.
We do the women's known pro and the senior known pro, and it's like we really didn't take any time off. We haven't shot a tournament since last August, and there's been some ridiculous scores shot this weekend. So we should have some exciting shoot-offs. We're going to see some great archery from some great archers.
Yes, excellent. And we're going to kick off with our women's known pro division. We can see our standings right there, Darren. I mean, really, that first one is just crazy.
If you follow archery at all, you probably know Paige Pearce. Paige is a dominant force as a professional female. She's at 442, and there's a four-way tie for second at 418. Tanya Gillantine just won Vegas. Danielle Woody's a great new pro shooter. Hannah Moose is a very competitive shooter, and then Madison Cox, they're all tied up at 418.
It is a great field. We are super excited. As we mentioned, this is a brand new pro class that we have not seen before. And Darren, for folks who are just coming in, tell them what we're doing here.
We're shooting 5 targets. Each lady will stand in a box. They can call an upper 12 designated with an orange cone. If they set that orange cone out in front of them, they can call the upper 12. The low 12 is always in play, so they have a chance to shoot a 12 there, but they can also go for a 14 ring. If there's anyone tied with the leader or anyone within 10 points of the leader after those 5 additional arrows, the last chance archery, last shot will be the 6th and final arrow. They get one last chance to try to advance or win the tournament.
That is great. We'll get, as we start into competition, we will get a close-up of these targets to show the scoring rings. But first, let's go over to our Nathan Brooks, third member of our team here, and he is going to bring out our shooters.
All right, we're ready to get started this afternoon. A new division for the ASA, Women's Known Pro. Your 5th place qualifier. Yes, tied for 4th. But your 5th place qualifier from McKee, Kentucky, shooting for Darton in her first year as a pro, Madison Cox. Also tied at a 418 score, I might mention, from York, Pennsylvania, also her first year shooting pro for Elite, Miss Hannah Moose. Also tied in 3rd place position, qualifying at a 418 score, from Elkton, Maryland, also her first year shooting pro for Elite, Danielle Woody. And the top of the ties at 418 goes to the shooter from Winchester, Kentucky, shooting 9 years as a pro, shooting for Darton, Tanya Gillantine. And your 1st place qualifier, who is not tied, from Red Bluff, California, 13 years as a pro, shooting for Bowtech, Paige Pearce.
All right, Darren, there is the field that it is set. We have 2 seasoned veterans out there and 3 first-timers.
We do, and I'm really, I can't say surprised, but I'm really impressed with the score that Paige put up. 442. She shot 22 12s for qualifying, so that's a possible 44 up. Means she only shot 1-8, so she only missed her target really one time this weekend. If you miss the 12, you want to keep it in the 10 ring. You don't give anything back. But she only made 1 mistake this weekend, and she's got a 24-point lead over all these other ladies. So Paige really has a pretty easy path to victory. I hate to say that, but she really has a pretty easy path, but these other girls get to duke it out, so it should be really good.
Absolutely. There we have a look at Madison Cox.
That's a new bow for her this year. This is the first year she's shooting dart, and then obviously she's shooting it well. Looks like she's shooting a hinge release. She's pulling through that shot. And that looks like a 12 right away. There's Paige right there. She's a beast. 12.
Got it. Tanya, as you mentioned, our Vegas champ, 2023 Vegas champ. So.
Yeah, she went head-to-head with Paige out there, and Tanya took home the win for a Vegas championship, which is huge.
Hannah Moose on the longest target out there. We should mention our first target, the turkey that Paige shot. That is 41 yards out there. We can say this because this is a known distance class, so they know the distances. So that's 41 yards to that turkey hitting that 12 ring.
It's about the size of a 50-cent piece, and on that black target, it's not easy to see, but Paige is pretty good at hitting those rings by her score. It's pretty obvious how good she is.
I should say, yes.
You may get tired of hearing me say that, but I give her all the props. She's a very accomplished archer.
Absolutely. And in all disciplines.
Yes.
That's one of the unique things about Paige.
You can see that ring there that Tanya's touching. That's really just a novelty ring. It doesn't count in ASA, so it's just 10 points.
Correct.
This should be Danielle here.
Yeah, he went to the wrong target there.
Danielle's touching that center ring as well, so it's just going to be 10 points, just above that 12. There we go. Looks like the black buck. That's a new target back for ASA this year, too. We shot the black buck a few years ago, but it's back. It's a nasty little dude. It's not very big. It's easy to carry all the way to the end of a lane, so we're going to shoot it at long distance a lot, and it's already set at a long distance in here. And it is 49 yards is what it is.
Hannah Moose shooting that. 426, that should move her too.
And for everyone listening right now, freaking out because we're talking about yardage, these numbers will all change for all the shooters after a while, so don't panic.
Madison getting that 12 to start
points.
Things off. Good for her. 430, that's going to move her too.
That's a good start. That coyote is 43 yards. That's not an easy 12 to get.
No, that is not. So as we see there, Madison Cox separated herself into second.
Hannah shot an 8, so she's going to drop down to 5th by herself right now.
And it's interesting because, all right, Danielle Woody, 21. Hannah Moose, 22. Madison Cox, 21. Great to see these young ladies out here. We all talk about Paige and Tanya. They're not old, but they've been shooting a while.
They're very experienced. They've been in a lot of high-pressure situations, so this is new for these young ladies, and it's really good to see them out there because they're shooting against some beasts right now.
And they beat some good archers out there. Look at that. That's Madison pounding that 12.
Pounding. That's inside out. That should be a bonus point if you get in that 12 without touching the line. I think it should be like 13 points or something.
She's got the mean face now,
does.
but she was smiling there a minute ago.
That's her. Hey, I'm all business right now. Fantastic shot for her right there.
Yes. Back-to-back 12s. So, all right, Darren, so you're new to this. This is your first time on the big stage. Come out, back-to-back 12s. What's that doing for you inside?
Right now, she's got to be like, holy smokes, this is way easier than I thought it was going to be. It's not as easy as she's making it look right now, but good for her.
So again, as you mentioned, that's a center 10. That ring doesn't count for bonus.
That's just for Paige, so that puts her to 454. She's still on cruise control. And as it stands right now, she had a 24-point lead, and we mentioned earlier, you have to be within 10 points of the leader to shoot the last chance archery final arrow, the last chance arrow. I highly doubt we get to that with this big point spread.
Right.
That was a 10 for
That
Danielle.
was a Tanya.
Or for Tanya, I'm sorry.
Tanya, yep. So she's 438. Coming over to Danielle Woody, who is a junior at University of the Cumberlands, is Danielle.
.438, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if Hannah rebounded from the 8 on that black buck.
She got to that long 43-yard coyote that's out there.
And that is, she's not going to like that one.
No.
She's not going to like that.
431. All right, so I have Paige at a 464, Madison 442, Danielle Tanya 438, and Hannah Moose at 431. Going into our third arrow.
Yeah, Madison's extended her lead over third, the tie for third, by 4 points now. So the girls may have to go after a 14 if they want to try to get second place.
So we just saw a close-up there of Danielle. Talk about what she's doing with her sight.
She's clicking it. It's a micro-adjustable sight, and they have a sight tape that they've sighted into their specific arrow setup. So they'll have a 20-yard mark, a 30-yard mark. They'll have every single yard mark, 21, 22, 23, and they're ranging these targets, and then they're setting that sight to what they've sighted into the exact yardage that these targets are. So if it's 41, they can set their sight to exactly 41 yards.
She's shooting a 43-yard coyote, so that's what she's
dialed
clicking
it
her
right
sight
to 43. She's shooting a back tension release, and she 12 that target, I believe.
Good shot. That was wrong. There we go. Madison center.
Everybody's
that's
shooting
a 10.
that pronghorn center 10.
Paige just got the Panther there.
Yeah. She shoots a lot of rings. Paige has won Redding about 100 times, but Redding, California has orange dots on the targets. There's no dots on these targets.
We should mention Paige was one of the champions of this class. Fought for this to get it out here. 12 for Hannah Moose.
Good for her.
That's going to move her to 443. But Paige got the support for the class. She got women out here to shoot it in women's known 50 a couple years, and now she's out here at the pro class leading the way. I mean, she was on cloud 9 all weekend.
That's awesome. 10 from Madison puts her at 52 by my math. 452. There's a good look at Paige.
She shook her head, but she
didn't call up,
no?
Did she? No, she didn't. She should get 12 points for that arrow.
Yeah,
12.
there it is.
76. 476, that is.
Paige Pearce posted the highest single round score ever posted. She actually drove 442 into the final score for second round. And we were kind of shocked that she definitely
It's a center 10 for Tanya.
Yeah. 448 by my math. I wonder in this lighting, this is significantly different than shooting outside. These bulbs, this black carpet that we're shooting on, it's a lot different lighting, so I wonder if they can pick up any detail on these targets. But we've seen a few rings shot, but not a bunch.
Right. 12 there for Daniel. Yeah, we should mention, Darren, the scores they came in with. They shot 2 rounds of 20 targets each outside over the past 2 days, Friday and Saturday.
And you're fighting foggy, misty weather yesterday morning, and then hot, sunny weather today with shadows and a little bit of a breeze. The wind was not a factor today at all, but just shooting these targets down dark lanes with shadows, it's not easy to pick off these rings like Paige did. These girls all shot great rounds to get here, but it's not as easy as they make it look sometimes. There's a good look at Paige. She did switch to a back tension, so she's got to release that. You can shoot as a back tension. She's just pulling consistently until it fires. rotating, boom. She likes it.
Oh,
She won't like it when she glasses it, I don't
think
believe.
so. Yeah.
Good look at Madison shooting the same style release, a back tension. Good arrow just over the 12.
Hannah Moose is our last archer. There she is, full draw.
Oh, she shot at the 14.
All right, so that ring just to the left of her arrow,
Yep.
Darren. That's 14.
Yep.
That she's the first one we've seen
First
go
to go
for
at it, yeah. And she's sitting in 5th, so she really has nothing to lose there. Oh, Danielle.
Danielle had it.
This arrow's gonna mix things up a little
Yeah,
bit.
that is. We're gonna have some shakedown.
That's close to that 8 line. We talked about the 10 and the 12. That lean there around the other score, that's an 8 ring. So if it's outside the 8, it'll be worth 5 points. Anywhere in the animal's worth 5. That might be touching that 8 line. I can't tell.
All it has to do is touch it to get those points.
She's got
She
the
got
8.
it. Okay.
So she's at 458 if my math is right.
Yep. She didn't like that shot. We should say Danielle was the women's known 45 shooter of the year last year, so she's an accomplished ASA archer.
8 for Hannah, shooting at that 14, 451.
Yes, sir. There's a look at Madison. She's going to have a 10 on this Panther. It's going to move her to a 462.
462 for Miss Madison. She shot well. She's got her business face. Well, there she smiled a
There
little
we
bit,
go.
but she's got her business face on out there. Opened up with a couple of 12s. That's not an easy thing to do, and she shot it like a champ.
I know Madison's dad is here. I saw him yesterday out on the range.
I saw her brother this weekend, too.
This is Paige. That's going to be,
8 for Paige. It's only her second blemish this weekend. So that's at 84. 484. If you get close to 500 points at an ASA in a weekend, you've shot extremely well.
Oh, there's one, Darren. Look at that line.
Yeah, that's tough.
Again, all it has to do is touch that line, and we should say this is foam, so the line is actually pliable. It can move. Yep, 12.
12 points for Tanya, 460.
Right, so we do have
So
some
this last arrow is big because we're not going to shoot the 6th arrow. Paige has too big of a lead, so there'll be no one within 10 points of the leader. But Madison's at 62 up right now. Tanya's at 60.
Yep.
So Danielle's at 58. She's going to have to shoot a 14 and hope these other girls make a mistake to get on the podium.
Right.
A lot of math going on right here.
Right.
Mike's breaking down the scores with the 12 ring count because 12 bonus rings will break ties for 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Well, bonus rings break ties anyway anymore.
Yeah, so Tanya, if she gets to a 462, she would win because she has more bonus rings, including the ones she shot here, as well as what she came in at.
So if Tanya shoots a 12, she goes to 72. If Madison just shoots a 10, she would be at 72, but Tanya would take 2nd because of her bonus ring count.
Right.
There's a look at Paige. She's steady. Got that 12.
Coyote, 43 yards.
Good look at Madison again. See her working that hinge. She's rotating it slow. Pull, pull, pull until that bow fires. Keep pulling. Boom.
Oh. She looked off.
She's looking at the big screen to see where arrow hit, I believe.
She was on the black buck.
A little bit of a concerned look. Good 10.
10.
Now it depends on what Tanya
did. Right. She was on that turkey. Was Tanya.
There's a look at Tanya
Here we go.
right there. See what she did. Just a, ooh, it's close.
Just over it.
Yeah, it is just tall.
She's going to end up with a 470.
So Madison's probably going to take 2nd place then, right?
I didn't see what Danielle did. Danielle was on one of the shorter targets.
She would need a 14.
I don't think she went for it, no.
Is this Danielle?
This is Danielle.
This is Danielle too. So that puts her at 70?
Yeah. And 14. So there must be. I missed the count there.
Yeah, there might be a tie. We might have a shoot-off.
It would be between Tanya and Danielle, obviously.
10 for Hannah. That puts her at 61, 461. So she's going to finish in 5th.
Good for her. To come out here, women's known pro. We didn't know who was going to be here, how many were going to be here. It was about, I think there was about
10 for Madison. So she's going to take second with a 472. That's gotta feel good.
And the final score for the round is going to go to our winner, Paige Pearce. And your final total.
It's going to be a 496.
496 for Miss Paige.
Crazy. All right, so Mike's going to sort out the tie for us.
Okay, here's what's going to happen. Tanya, and Danielle tied at 470 and 14 bonus points. You're going to have to shoot one arrow closest to the center of the lower 12. Score does not matter. It's whoever's closest to the dead center of the lower 12. Which arrow you guys want to use on? Scott, which arrow?
Coyote we're going to shoot. This is the last chance. Well, it's not, but it is.
Yeah, it's not, but it is.
The last chance archery, last chance arrow. This isn't what we intended it for. It was supposed to be the 6th arrow, but it's going to be our shoot-off arrow.
Yeah, Last Chance is sponsoring the final arrow, which this is a shoot-off arrow, but
Correct.
they're going to give them some coverage anyway.
Why not?
Little bonus.
For sure. Last Chance Archery, one of the sponsors here at the ASA. Great company making a lot of good products.
They do a lot of nice stuff for archery gear, presses and tools and gadgets. They've got a lot of nice stuff.
Absolutely. They're always coming out with something cool. And I guess he is moving them. Okay, so they're not going to shoot from where they had been. He moved them up, I don't know, it's over 10 yards, I guess.
And we did say earlier, this is women's known pro. So they do get to use a laser rangefinder to range every target they shoot for the whole weekend. So they're going to click this target from wherever Scott designates they're going to shoot from. And it may say 36.3 yards, whatever the distance is. They're going to set their sight to exactly that. And score doesn't matter here. They're going to measure their arrow closest to the center of the low 12. Whoever's closest to the center is going to take 3rd place.
Now, standing out there, you have Tanya Galantine, who has been in the biggest shoot-offs in the world, and 21-year-old Danielle Woody.
Yeah. Danielle's got to be excited, have an opportunity. This is why you practice.
So, Danielle shoots. I know her very well. She shoots at, Lancaster Archery. I see her all the time, and she's very quiet, but she's good.
Yeah, she's
the real deal.
She came highly recommended to us from Jennifer Brooks, which is Nathan's wife.
Yeah.
And she says, man, Danielle would be a great pickup for the elite archery team. So I reached out to Danielle. She's obviously shooting an elite now. She's got a great attitude. She's a good kid.
For sure.
And she can shoot.
She can shoot.
She's a welcome addition to the team. It's good to see her out there.
You would never know it talking to her. She's always, not too good today. And yet she told me that today. Here she is in the finals.
Yeah. And then Tanya's so soft-spoken, but I call her, I tell her all the time, I said, you're a beast. And she really is. She shoots a 900 at Vegas. She never missed. She's in every shoot-off everywhere.
Absolutely.
She can pound.
She won on the World Archery stage. She's won everywhere.
And she's changed bow manufacturers as well. You see her shooting a dart in there. She's adapted really well. Tanya has not missed a beat. Like we said, she won Vegas. She's always in the mix, and she's just a great archer.
Yeah.
good look at that close-up of that coyote right there.
There we go.
They're going to shoot at the lower 12, which is the lowest little ring you can see of the 3 in a line right there. And then they're going to measure from the center out to the edge of the shaft. Whoever's closest to center will take 3rd place. Tanya's shooting a trigger style release. See that big gold thumb barrel?
Yeah.
She's just putting tension and pressure on that as she's pulling through the shot, and eventually the sear's going to fire that release. She'll wrap her thumb. She'll start pulling with her fingers. Boom. That's a really good arrow right there.
That is a good arrow. You bet.
It's all but inside out. So she's going to be like 3/16 of an inch away from dead center.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'll measure, but that's about maybe 1/4 of an inch tops.
So there is room for Danielle, but not much.
Danielle's going to have to pipe this one.
Yeah.
Not sure how they're measuring this, but I'm going to say it's no more than 1/4 inch from dead center.
It's
see how good I am at judging distance here. 1/8.
1/8 of an inch, we're told.
Nice.
1/8.
Even closer.
Wow. That was her rangefinder there.
Yep.
She was clicking that distance.
Now she's
setting her
dialing
sight.
it to exactly what her rangefinder said. She's going to hook it to that little purple loop on her string, which is called a D loop. It's in the shape of a D. Hook her release on there. I don't know what kind of release she's shooting. We'll see here in a second. She's shooting a hinge.
She does not look nervous.
Looks like some kind of a true ball hinge, but a hinge rotates. You get the hook on there, and you have to transfer the leverage from your first finger to your second and third finger when you rotate that release. Some people shoot a click, and some people it will just fire eventually. She's going to continue to pull through. There she dropped her pinky. Pull, 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 pull.
Just left.
Good 12.
Got the 12.
Tanya's going to take that shoot off.
So that's going to put Danielle in 4th place. Good weekend for her.
Yeah, that's awesome. This is good experience for these girls. They'll learn a lot from being out there, and the next time they won't be near as nervous as they were if they were this time.
Yep. Yes, so then 2nd place is going to be Madison Cox, and our champion is Paige Pearce. Again, we're going to see lots of this for the season to come, Darren.
Yes.
Women's known pro, we're excited about that.
It's a good class. It really is. There's a lot of great archers, and learning to judge distance. We're going to see the open pros later and the senior pros where they judge. They have to guess how far away these targets are. That's a learned skill that's learned over a whole career or a lot of hours. It's not fun to practice that. It's way more fun to shoot your bow. So I understand there's a place for all this, but we're going to see a lot of good stuff.
All right, so Paige now has the headphones on there. Paige Pearce, what a weekend for you.
It was a good weekend. I'm super excited.
How do you feel? We told the folks at home, that you were one of the champions of this class. You came out here, you shot with the women you wanted to shoot with, and then crushed it. You got to be feeling real good.
I really did. My indoor season's been awesome, and so transitioning from that right to ASA is kind of stressful, so I didn't know what to expect, so I'm really glad it all came together.
Paige, I made mention that you only had one blemish on your scorecard through qualifications, only one little blemish in the shoot down. You're seeing these targets really well. What kind of scope, setup, lens, clarifier are you shooting so people know what you're shooting?
So I'm actually running the 7-power lens, and for me, I ran an 8-all last year, so I did drop down a little bit for clarity. And then I'm running a number 3 specialty peep. And so with that, my fiber's a little dodgy. It was definitely not great in here. That was kind of something I wanted to figure out moving forward. But for outside, I can pick it up pretty good.
Awesome. You shot a bunch of rings. Congrats on your victory. Great weekend.
Congratulations, Paige.
Thank you.
All right, Gary.